The referee for this one is Anderson Daronco from Brazil, who are scheduled to host the Copa America starting later this month, although there's a lot of controversy over the selection of Brazil, which still has unfortunately, a very difficult time with COVID-19, which cost Argentina the opportunity of hosting the forthcoming Copa America. They were due to co-host with Colombia, but Colombia, the unrest there caused a problem. And indeed, we hear that the Brazil players, it's reported anyway in certain quarters, that they're ready to boycott the forthcoming Copa America. But this is all about the qualification for the World Cup in Qatar next year. And it's fair to say that both these sides have had a pretty inconsistent start on the road to the finals in 2022. Venezuela's sole win out of 4 defeats in 5 came here against Chile, a 2-1 success. That was their last home game. As for Uruguay, it's 2 wins, 1 draw and 2 defeats. The defeats have been in Ecuador and at home to Brazil. Tremendous amount of experience in the Uruguay side when you look at 4 players in goalkeeper Muslera, captain and centre-back Godin, another centre-back Cáceres and striker Suarez. Between them, nearly 500 caps, that quartet. Outstanding servants they've been. But for how much longer? Muslera, the goalkeeper, 34, Cáceres 34, Suarez 34, Godin 35. And those players in particular will be hopeful of another World Cup, almost certainly the last. Venezuela, you may well be aware, are the only one of the 10 South American nations who've never reached a World Cup finals. They have improved over recent years. They do export their players a lot more than used to be the case a couple of decades or so ago. As a consequence, their national side has had some better results. There's more organisation about them. But the home nation on the back foot here. So Otero's gone down here. He's in need of some treatment. Just the forearm there of Gonzalez. Just had eyes for the ball, Gonzalez. It was nothing too malicious there. The referee won't see it that way. Otero nurses the knock to the head. He's in Brazil with Corinthians. Romelu Otero. There's the veteran coach of Uruguay, Oscar Tabarez, 74 years old now. Well over 200 games in his 2 spells in charge of Uruguay for Tabarez. His first spell was 1988 to 90, returned in 2006 and remains to this present day. And this is Jose Pizarro, the Portuguese head coach of Venezuela. Happy to see that Otero is on his feet again and okay to resume. Rosales trying to release Savarino, has got some pace. Keep an eye out for Savarino and Martinez. Pace at the top end of the pitch for Venezuela, but up against a very experienced Uruguay back 3. Ferraresi with a measured ball forward. Here's Martinez, offside. been a prolific scorer in the MLS, Joseph Martinez, in the last few seasons. Doesn't always transfer that to the national team. Just marginally off there. Good decision by the assistant. Martinez plays with Atlanta United. Here's Godin. Cáceres. Torreira. Venezuela are the lower scorers in the CONMEBOL qualifying standings right now. They've managed only 3 goals in their 5 games. Nice weight of pass there, taking out Facundo Torres. Godin. Not the best of passes from the Uruguay skipper. Offered little there to Jonathan Rodriguez. Extending his record caps for Uruguay today. Godin, cap number 141. Plays these days in Italy with Cagliari. After many good years in Spain, particularly with Atletico Madrid. Here's Otero. Brushes off the attentions of Torreira and picks out Rosales. Otero again. Rosales normally a right back, but starting at left back, the number 16. He will get across to take this throw. Rosales, one of the more experienced players in the lineup, in fact, the most experienced, apart from the captain Rincon. Rosales' 86th cap. It's an easy take for Muslera. Plays in Turkey with Galatasaray, the Uruguay keeper. Now Jose Maria Jimenez, of course, has a very good understanding with Godin from their many years together with Atletico Madrid. Jimenez still plays for the recent Spanish title winners. Here he is again, Jimenez. Torres. Villanueva getting a foot in, but it will be a throw to Uruguay. Torres. Heavy touch. Allows Venezuela the attempt to clear, not the best. Jimenez. Gonzalez with the cross, dealt with comfortably by Moreno. This is Rincon. Otero going down rather theatrically, no great claim for a free kick. Referee spots a handball there. Valverde was looking to make progress into the Venezuela penalty area. Plays for Real Madrid, Fede Valverde. Has a very long international future ahead of him as well, only 22. The midfielder. Here he is again. Moreno, Rincon. Looking to find Rosales. Might just spin out for a corner. Indeed it has. It's an excellent pass from Rincon, carried perfect weight. Rosales, we know, is an attacking fullback. Ricochet off Giovanni Gonzalez, and the game's opening corner to Venezuela. John Chancellor there got his first senior goal in the last qualifier 5 days ago in that 3-1 defeat against Bolivia. Big centre back forward for this Otero corner. Muslera commits. It's good positive goalkeeping. We're looking for offside here, but no flag against Otero. There's a call to leave. Flag's up now. Venezuela's next match is due in the Copa America against the hosts Brazil. Scheduled to be played in Brasilia in just 5 days from now. A little longer, some 10 days before Uruguay step up in that competition, and they'll play Argentina. We've got games scheduled in Brasilia, Cuiabá and at Rio de Janeiro, Uruguay. Ferraresi. Gonzalez to Otero. Here's Savarino. Gonzalez, Savarino again, running out of pitch. Luis Suarez scored 4 of Uruguay's 7 goals so far in this qualifying campaign, all of them from the penalty spot. Savarino, a lot of space for Rosales. Now he's running into a more congested area. Savarino ignores him. This is Moreno. Didn't commit to that too much. Junior Moreno only got 1 senior international goal. Plays in the MLS with DC United. But in Savarino, Venezuela do have a player who can get them up the pitch quickly with that pace I was talking about earlier. Suarez missing his partner in attack. He suspended Edinson Cavani. Juventus midfielder Rodrigo Bentancur also unavailable through suspension. Throw will be left here for Martin Cáceres. Looking for a corner, and they've got it. No lost causes there for Giovanni Gonzalez. Applied the pressure. earns Uruguay their first corner, which will be taken by Facundo Torres, one of the Uruguayan-based players. Made his debut off the bench last week against Paraguay, number 18. Plays for Peñarol. Referee on Brazil deciding there was a foul there on Rosales. Torcero managed in 7 different countries, much travelled man. Once had a spell as assistant at Real Madrid to Carlos Queiroz over a decade and a half ago now, when he was at the Santiago Bernabeu. Villanueva, Gonzalez, trying to make room for the cross, dealt with comfortably at the back. Not the best clearance from Godin. Rosales missing his kick. Interesting choice down the left-hand side. Normally used to seeing him play on the right flank. Might have been a surprise to the Uruguayan coach Tavares, that. Savarino, Moreno, Gonzalez, Villanueva, Chancellor, Ferraresi, Martinez done really well and scores. Terrific strength there from Joseph Martinez. He had 2 defenders for company, shrugged them off, and a sweetly struck shot which flew past Muslera. And the lower scorers in CONMEBOL World Cup qualifying are on the mark here, and it's Joseph Martinez with his 12th senior international goal. Fine finish. Tavares will be disappointed with the defending. I've talked about the vast experience that Uruguay have got at the back, but look at how he shrugs off both Jimenez and Godin there. And a convincing strike at the end of it. No chance for Muslera. Repaying the coach for the faith that Torcero put in Martinez. A substitute in the last match, a starter today and on the score sheet. A win for Venezuela would put them just a point behind Uruguay in the standings. Rosales, Moreno, well, the referee, with the check from VAR, deciding that the goal wouldn't stand for Martinez, much to his annoyance. goal was initially given, but VAR made the check and decided that Martinez had handled. Tough call that for Venezuela. Lucky break for Uruguay. Vecino. Torreira. Gonzalez. Torres. Now Godin. Cáceres. Valverde. Gonzalez. Asking a lot. Too much of Valverde. Just about giving that one up. Fede Valverde. Venezuela missing a few key players from their squad. There's no Salomon Rondon. Their star striker, Yangel Herrera and Darwin Machis, the pair from Granada in Spain's La Liga, not available either to coach Pesero. Villanueva will comfortably get that back to Graterol. Here's Rosales. Tricked himself there. Gift of a throw here to Uruguay. Valverde. Torres. Signalled his intentions there. Wants to get on the left foot. Otero was aware of that. No foul. No great sign of dissent either from Otero. Valverde. Godin. Cáceres. Under hit. Cut off easily by Moreno. Martinez. Free kick against Diego Godin. Got his hands full with Martinez, the Uruguay captain. Here's the handball given against Joseph Martinez. Well, certainly brushed off an arm. Get a real close-up view there, but he's unlucky, isn't he? Comes off his chin and down onto his left arm. I think you can see why it was given. It certainly wasn't deliberate. Rosales. Ferraresi. And that's simulation. Trying to buy himself a free kick or dance into the box and try and get a penalty, but he was never going to get the decision there, the defender Ferraresi. Been a decent 25 minutes though for Venezuela. Seen little of Uruguay so far, just that one effort from Suarez. It's comfortably dealt with by Venezuelan keeper Graterol. Here's Villanueva. Rosales. Onto the loose ball here. Runs into Facundo Torres. And a free kick against Rosales. The other fixtures in this round of CONMEBOL qualifying: Ecuador against Peru, Colombia, Argentina, Paraguay and Brazil, the two unbeaten sides meeting in Paraguay, and Chile have home advantage to Bolivia. Problem here for Jonathan Rodriguez. Essentially the strike partner to Luis Suarez in the absence of Cavani. Striker plays in Mexico with Cruz Azul. There's the man who's had the ball in the net. Denied via the VAR check. John Chancellor. Gonzalez running into trouble. Not really found a rhythm yet, Uruguay. Forward by Vecino. Too much on that for Rodriguez. Uruguay have been struggling to find goals. I mentioned 4 of their 7 goals have come from the penalty spot via Luis Suarez, so in open play they have been finding it difficult to break down opponents. Had only 2 attempts on target in last Thursday's dull goalless draw at home to Paraguay. Veteran coach Tavares would have asked for a lot better. Poor clearance by Villanueva, who's got some defending to do here up against Facundo Torres. Wants it on that left foot again. Doesn't look as though he's got a right foot to speak of. Torres always looking to cut inside from that right flank. Otero. This is Rincon. Wants Rosales to gallop up. Normally he doesn't need any second invitations. Otero's shot on target, but routine take for Muslera. Entitled to take it on, Otero. Moreno giving that away very cheaply. Here's Vecino. Well, Venezuela have been the better of the two teams in the opening half an hour. Thought they'd taken the lead. Long celebrations for what they felt was a legitimate goal from Josef Martinez until their celebrations were cut short. The on-field referee and the assistant on the far side both thought that Martinez's goal should stand, but the man in charge of VAR thought differently. Torreira, Jimenez, Gonzalez. Uruguay finding it hard to play through Venezuela, who've changed their system a little bit at the back from the 3-1 defeat last week against Bolivia. They're playing Villanueva as the left-sided centre-back, Chancellor in the middle, with Ferraresi the right-sided centre-back, Gonzalez the right wing-back, Rosales the left wing-back. He's well forward again here, Rosales. We won't get to that. Perfectly suited to the wing-back position, Roberto Rosales. Plenty of pace. Plays in the second tier of Spain these days with Leganés. Free kick against Torreira, one of the smallest players around in international football, just 5'4" tall. Lucas Torreira, always leaning in there to Moreno. Good header on there by Martinez. Savarino's in. It's an important block. And Jefferson Savarino had his eyes set on the opening goal there. Applauds the service from Josef Martinez. It was a fine header. Savarino alive to it. And that is excellent defending. Otero with the corner. Good clean hands from Muslera. Gonzalez. Torres. There's no cohesion at the top end of the pitch at all from Uruguay. Lack of understanding there. I think Torres was expecting Suarez to make a run, which he didn't. Martinez using good strength again there, fouled by Facundo Torres. Certainly not afraid of the physical challenge, is he, Martinez? Defenders certainly know when he's around. 10 minutes shy of half-time. Romulo Otero with the free kick here for Venezuela. Referee just delaying the taking of this. The word with Villanueva and Vecino. Rather wasted in the end by Otero. Cáceres. Torreira. That's a poor challenge by Moreno on Luis Suarez. The referee with a perfect view of that. He's in some pain here, Suarez. He's caught on his right ankle. A yellow card for Junior Moreno. He's in there to win his challenges, so has to tread carefully now. Goalkeeper Graterol, only his second senior cap, made his debut in that defeat last week against Bolivia. Suarez fit enough, not only to resume, but to actually take this free kick. Well, he can strike for goal from here. Went for the cross instead. Oh, and that's remarkable that stayed out. He knew little about it, Graterol, but he got enough on it. Wry smile from Suarez, because he knows that this looked a certain goal for Jimenez. Well, maybe I was doing the goalkeeper a slight disservice there. He did get a decent sight of it in the end, got enough on it, with the ricochet off the defender out for the corner, and then a good clean take from Joel Graterol. But that was a very good chance for Jimenez to open the scoring for Uruguay. Good in, getting the better of Savarino. Jimenez. Drilled into the channel. It's a brilliant pass to pick out Torres. Players gather looking for the cross in sky blue shirts, and free kick goes against Uruguay. Good position there initially for Facundo Torres. Didn't make the best use of it. Clear foul on Villanueva. Otero. Chancellor. Moreno. Now Ferraresi. Villanueva. Losing out. It's poor defending, but Suarez can't be released by Torres. Savarino. Rincon. Jose Pizarro, the Venezuela head coach, getting pretty animated down on the touchline beneath us. Not happy with some of the movement off the ball, I think. Movement off the ball decent here from Facundo Torres. Chance to square up Villanueva, who has then fouled him. Looks to be a little predictable, doesn't he? Mentioned he always wants to cut in on his left foot, and the defenders are aware of that, but Villanueva just a little harsh in the challenge here. Yeah, it was untidy, mistimed. Definite free kick. Good position here now for Uruguay. Referee showed a yellow card there to Mikel Villanueva. Joins Junior Moreno on or in the referee's notebook. Facundo Torres poised, good angle for his left foot here. Can go either side of the goalkeeper. Whipping it into the goalkeeper's right as we look, probably is his best option. Just a two-man Venezuelan wall. Surely has to go for goal from here, doesn't he? Went for the cross instead. Rather telegraphed things, and it was an easy take for Graterol. Surprised he didn't strike for goal there. Heading to the final minute of normal time in the first half. There will be another minute to be added on after that, minimum. Good work by Otero. Needs to pick a pass now, and he buys a free kick. Not a good challenge. Surrounded by sky blue shirts there, Otero. Between them, Uruguay should have defended that much better. Now under pressure. Untidy from Jimenez. For a defender with his experience, that was a really poor challenge. Otero over the Venezuela free kick. Villanueva, Chancellor, some real presence in there. Ferraresi, another of the centre-backs. Poor Otero free kick though, out as far as Rosales. And still they don't get the ball into the box. Gonzalez. Savarino. Otero. Savarino. Ferraresi. In by Gonzalez, Martinez. He's been quiet for the last 10 minutes or so. Joseph Martinez found some space there to produce the header. We're well into the one additional minute. Stealing in front of Jose Maria Jimenez there. Not quite able to keep the header down. But he's a presence, no doubt about that. Suarez. The referee decides it's not a free kick, but will decide that we have reached half-time. Another sore one for Luis Suarez. Venezuela have been the better side in the first half. Martinez has been lively at times, had the ball in the net. And in the build-up was adjudged to have handled the ball. Been a couple of yellow cards for Villanueva and Moreno for Venezuela. Not much for Graterol to do in the Venezuelan goal. And they'll be a little unhappy, I think, that they're not ahead at the break. Suarez and Uruguay need to do much more in the second half. This World Cup qualifier in Caracas at half-time has the scoreline of Venezuela 0, Uruguay 0. Welcome back. At the outset of the second half of this CONMEBOL World Cup qualifying match between Venezuela, the better side in the first half, and Uruguay. You can see Uruguay making a change here at the start of the second half and bringing on Nandez, who's an attacking midfield player, and also Viña. It's a double change from Oscar Tabarez. Viña was a starter in last week's goalless draw at home to Paraguay. So I think that's a reflection on Tabarez's disappointment with the first half performance. Wants a little bit more dynamism in those midfield areas to get the ball moving through the thirds quicker than we saw from Uruguay for much of the first half. No changes made to the starting 11 for Venezuela. Referee Anderson Daronco from Brazil gets the second half started. And it was a goalless draw the last time these two teams met. It was 4 years ago. It was also in a World Cup qualifier here in Caracas. And somehow Uruguay have got to try and get some service to Luis Suarez. Precious little for the veteran striker to feed off in the opening half. Godin hoping that Muslera will come, and he did. Torreira. Just confirming that Matias Vecino made way for Matias Viña. It's one of the two changes that Uruguay made for this second half, with Jonathan Rodriguez replaced by Nahitan Nandez. Suarez over the free kick. Jimenez and Godin and Cáceres all forward for this. And that will be a corner conceded by Chancellor. Nicely flighted free kick that from Luis Suarez. Chancellor read it well. Facundo Torres away on the far side to take this Uruguay corner. 5 sky blue shirts to hit. Torres, the corner kick taker, the youngest player in the starting 11 for Uruguay, only 21, the Peñarol winger. Suarez. Another, oh no, I was about to say another corner, but the referee has decided the last touch came off Suarez. No great complaints, which suggests that it was his last touch. And you have to feel that Uruguay can only improve in the second half. And he's not one to stand on ceremony usually. Oscar Tavares, the veteran head coach, I think he'll have rattled into a few at half-time. Savarino, Otero. Good clean challenge from Torreira. Rosales to Ferraresi. Chancellor, heavy touch. Uruguay wanting a free kick. The referee says no. Viña, who's down. Well, they were adamant that it was a foul. Uruguay. The referee said play on, to the relief of John Chancellor, who was really lackadaisical in possession. He definitely got to the ball first, and then came the collision with himself and Viña. But there was a little follow-through after that. Down on the left ankle. That's a foul. Just outside the penalty area, but not given by our Brazilian referee. Had that been in the penalty area, VAR would have been checking that. And may well have given a penalty, but as it happened just outside, still the complaints from Uruguay. But already signs that Uruguay are beginning to wake up here. Very much off the pace in the first 45. Venezuela have had the ball in the net. It's a poor attempt at a clearance by Jimenez. No damage done though. Savarino. Joseph Martinez had the ball in the net for the home nation, but after the on-pitch referee Anderson Daronco had given the goal, it was a while before it was chalked off. After a VAR check, play had actually resumed just for a few fleeting seconds before the VAR check came. The referee didn't need to go to a pitch-side monitor. He went with the VAR official, and the goal was disallowed for handball in the build-up to the goal in inverted commas for Martinez. Torreira taking a sore one there. The autumn will see plenty of CONMEBOL World Cup qualifiers, a couple of games in each of the months of September, October, November. Uruguay will go to Peru, home to Ecuador, home to Colombia, away to Brazil, home to Argentina, and then they round off 2021 with a trip to Bolivia. As far as Venezuela are concerned, their next three: home to Argentina, away to Paraguay, home to Brazil. Tough little section that. Then they're away to Chile and Ecuador, and they round off the year with a home match against Peru. And then January, February and March, 2 rounds in each month to complete the marathon CONMEBOL session. 18 games in all. It's the hardest route to any World Cup finals. We've been saying that for a lot of years now, but it's certainly true. 4 nations will get automatic places in Qatar 2022. The 5th will have the opportunity via the playoffs. Playoffs historically have involved the 5th team in the CONMEBOL rankings, and a team from Oceania. Remember Uruguay having games against New Zealand for the right to get to a World Cup. Interception here by Savarino. Villanueva. Ferrarese. Much better pressing now from Uruguay. It's clearly been a message from coach Tavares at half-time. Let's press the ball higher, because at times they look a little uncertain when the pressure arrives, those Venezuelan defenders. Free kick against Torreira. Moreno. Here's Rincon. Otero. Already seen that Rosales has a decent long throw on him. Villanueva would be the target. Can't get there. Otero did. It's an easy take for Fernando Muslera. Torreira. Nice turn from Torres. Again, rather telegraphing his intention to get it onto that left foot. This is Savarino. Got his legs in a mess there. Nandez to Gonzalez. Suarez. No link up there between Suarez and Torres. Savarino. And Venezuela were the underdogs prior to kick-off, but the longer the game goes on, the more they'll fancy their chances of maybe getting their second win in the World Cup qualifying group. Cáceres. Plenty of time and space here for Torreira. Rincon. Gonzalez. Poor ball out from Ferraresi. Chancellor sticking tight to Suarez. Quite a high turnover of possession here. Torreira. Torres now playing on the left side, having played the first half down the right. Cáceres. The areas where Uruguay might get some joy is in behind the wing-backs. It's not a system that Venezuela play regularly. Coach has gone for the choice here today, playing Villanueva, who was an orthodox left-back last week against Bolivia. Felt his side were too easy to score against, so has gone for a little insurance there, playing Ferraresi, Chancellor and Villanueva as the three centre-backs. And they've restricted Uruguay to very little in front of their goal so far. Here's Rincon. Beautiful passer of the ball, Thomas Rincon. Another accurate ball in there. Cross meant for Martinez, but it was too high for him. Very rarely gives the ball away. Thomas Rincon, the captain for Coach Pesero in that Venezuelan midfield. Very experienced, of course. Rincon, he's 33 years old now. It's his 106th cap, the Venezuela captain. Plays in Italy with Torino. This is Gonzalez. Ooh, that's wild. My word. He had a pass inside there, Gonzalez. He's saying that's the that's the first time I've tried that. I think the coach is telling him it'll be the last. Almost had next week's weather on it, that. Godin. Torreira. Otero. Chance to run at Jimenez. It's a well-timed challenge from Jose Maria Jimenez. Torreira. Free kick. Venezuela just for a moment thought that decision was going their way. Brazilian referee favours Uruguay. Yeah, the left leg of Rincon went across Torreira there. Even though Rincon came off worse, it was his foul. Viña. Martin Cáceres for Diego Godin. It's a late challenge. The referee will maybe have a word with Villanueva, who's already been booked. Had a nervous look towards the referee there. Now, just wondering who that yellow card went against. Presumably Rincon. Wasn't his challenge though. See, it was Villanueva, who's already on a booking. But the referee appeared to show the yellow card to Rincon for dissent. Third yellow card of the game for Venezuela. Comes the free kick, just out of the reach of Godin. Took a deflection off a Venezuelan foot, and it will be a corner to Uruguay. Just run off his marker here, Godin. Godin will settle for the Uruguay throw. Giovanni Gonzalez to take. Otero buys himself the free kick. Jimenez left frustrated. He felt he couldn't get out the way there. The momentum of Otero. Just out of the reach of Savarino. Thumbs up for the service. Wasn't too far away from getting a foot on that. 25 minutes to go here in Caracas. Draw doesn't suit either of them really. Playing a bit of catch-up on teams ahead of them in the CONMEBOL World Cup qualifying standings. Brazil lead the way with a 100% record from their opening 5 games. They're 4 points clear of Argentina, who in turn are 2 points ahead of third place Ecuador. And then Paraguay, Uruguay and Colombia all together on 7 points. Chile on 5, Bolivia 4, Venezuela 3. And at the start of this round of matches, Peru were at the bottom with a single point. Otero. He's an elusive runner. Takes his fair share of tackles. Wins another free kick. Hernandez with the foul. Chancellor and Ferraresi and Villanueva, the 3 central defenders, have all made their way forward for this Otero free kick. And Uruguay preparing a substitute as De La Cruz, who will be with us shortly, it would appear. Flick on by Martinez to no teammate in particular. Nicolas De La Cruz is a midfield player, so Tavares looking for fresh legs in that area once more. Cáceres. Viña. Facundo Torres, his number is going to be up shortly. Hasn't made much of an impression on the game, the young 10-year-old striker. Winger, really. De La Cruz is going to be his replacement. Plays in for the River Plate club. Comes on for his 5th senior cap. 24 years old, Nicolas de la Cruz.
Diego de la Cruz. Diego de la Cruz con el 7.
Savarino. Moreno. Rincon. Ferraresi to Savarino. Gonzalez. Poor challenge. Just exactly what Savarino wanted there from Torreira. Couldn't resist having a niggle. Savarino not going into an area to trouble the Uruguayan goal. It's poor from Torreira. Approaching the final 20 minutes. Savarino over the Venezuela free kick, looking to drop this just beyond the penalty spot. Would be the ideal place, I would have thought. And Chancellor was coming in there, and it was an important header from Jimenez. Moreno. Gonzalez. Savarino. Flying header from the lively Joseph Martinez. Beats the turf in frustration that he couldn't get it on target. Not an easy chance by any means. Did well to get enough power in that he managed there. Well wide of the target. Martin Cáceres. Jimenez. Godin. Suarez. Valverde. Cáceres. Viña. De la Cruz. On to the return here, the substitute. This is Viña. This is better from Uruguay. Suarez. And a foul by Luis Suarez, just wouldn't release for him. But comfortably the best we've seen in terms of cohesion from Uruguay going forward. And definitely a free kick. All over Moreno there, Suarez. Offside against Savarino. Valverde. De la Cruz. Been a lot of Uruguay possession over the last 10 minutes. Pendulum is swinging their way, you feel here. Venezuela going to make a change shortly. Cáceres for Otero. Cáceres, who was a starter in Bolivia last week in that 3-1 defeat. This is Torreira. Beginning to defend quite deep now, Venezuela. Inviting Uruguay onto them. Free kick, I think, has gone against Rosales here. This is where Savarino was caught offside. There's Cáceres, and Otero, as I mentioned, is the man to make way. Pretty much a straight swap here in terms of where the players operate. Much more experienced player coming off in the Corinthians winger Romulo Otero. It's a 21-year-old who'll replace him. Christian Cáceres plays in the MLS. A number of Venezuelan players play in the USA. He's with the New York Red Bulls, on for his 6th senior cap. Meanwhile, De La Cruz over a Uruguay free kick. And the header flashes wide. And that was a real good effort. Not very far away at all from Nández. Or was it Jimenez? I think it was Jimenez who was in there. Yeah, it was indeed. Jose Maria Jimenez powers his header wide of the goalkeeper's left-hand post. He was struggling to get there. Graterol. Decent chance. Playing a lot better now, Uruguay. We're inside the last quarter of an hour. Gonzalez. Martinez in the clear momentarily. Jimenez sliding into good effect. Here's Rosales. Rincon. And again, Thomas Rincon. Needs an outball, maybe. He tiptoed his way into a challenging position, but then planted it straight into the grateful gloves of Muslera. After all that good work, Rincon. Another change for Venezuela coming. And De Cadiz we're looking at there. Joseph Martinez, I understand, is going to be replaced. A little bit of a surprise. Being the liveliest of the Venezuelan attackers. Does look a little bit leggy though, Martinez. Poor pass in midfield from Uruguay, and it's taken on by Cáceres. Wants to turn out and look to keep the attack moving forward, but Moreno goes backwards. Here's Ferraresi. Given away so tamely by Ferraresi. This is De La Cruz. He's got Suarez to his right, and here's Viña. Wonderful chance for Uruguay. Big save. To the relief of Ferraresi, who gave away such a cheap ball. And Uruguay were quickly onto that Venezuela defence, and Graterol makes the save with his face. Anywhere will do to deny Viña. Well, he's stunned by that, takes it full in the face, the goalkeeper, but does the job required. So off goes Martinez. On has come Yonder Cadiz, another of the MLS-based players. He's with the Nashville club, on for a 4th senior cap. Meantime, it'll be a Uruguay corner. Important save that from Joel Gratterol. Vina with eyes set on the game's opening goal. Inviting sight to the target, wasn't it, for the second half substitute, Vina. Would have been his first senior international goal as well. So it will be De La Cruz with the latest Uruguay corner, looking the most likely to score. And once again they win the header. It's Vina, who went close a moment or two ago, had another opportunity here. His head meeting the De La Cruz corner. And again, you feel he should do better. Goalkeeper's in no man's land. Anything on the target is in the back of the net. Two very good chances for Matias Vina. Here's De La Cruz. It's a foul by Torreira on Villanueva. No way through there for Cáceres. Venezuela getting ready to make another change. Flag stays down, and Uruguay are in behind here with Valverde. Unable to pick out Suarez. Chancellor concedes the corner. But the pressure mounting on Venezuela. Look at the freedom Valverde has here, and he's clearly onside. A disjointed backline there from Venezuela. Another corner for De La Cruz. They're in behind here. Stabbed over by Cadiz. And the chances continue to arrive for Uruguay. Deliveries from De La Cruz from this near side. The corners have been excellent. So Venezuela getting ready to make another change. Just checking with the fourth official down there. Venezuela taking their time over the throw to make sure that the substitution can be made. Double change, as you can see. Want to see Maggio and Celis. Rosales has gone off. Luis Maggio. And the other player coming on. It'll be a first senior cap as Savarino makes way for Richard Celis, who plays for the local club in the capital, Caracas. And a big moment for the 25-year-old. And Rolf Felcher makes it a triple change for Venezuela. Alexander Gonzalez, as you can see, the man to make way. Felcher's a defender, experienced defender as well. Probably settled for a clean sheet now, Venezuela, given the nature of the last 10-15 minutes, where chances have gone begging for Uruguay. And that will be a Venezuela corner. Six minutes to go, plus additional time. Cáceres will finally get across to take this corner kick. And the header from Ferrarese, tipped over well by Muslera. Tacked it well. It's a save the goalkeeper should expect to make. It was just above his head, but he had to react quickly. It's a powerful header from the number 2, Ferrarese. He was always expecting to save that, Muslera. Another Cáceres corner for Venezuela. It would be against the run of play in the last 15 or so minutes if they were to score. And out comes De La Cruz. Can he keep it moving here? Got a bit of pace about him, Nicolas De La Cruz, but runs into Moreno. Good cover there from the defensive midfielder. Here's Cáceres. That's a foul by Cadiz. Uruguay will be frustrated if they don't get over the line to 3 points after the chances that they've had. Two principal ones for Viña. Header for Jimenez as well was a good opportunity. But their principal goal scorer, Luis Suarez, the chances haven't really fallen for him so far. Torreira. In comes a decent cross. Chancellor had to deal with that and dealt with it well. Uruguay getting ready to make a late change. They're going to take off Lucas Torreira shortly and replace him with Fernando Gorriarán. Another player who'll be coming on for a first senior cap, Gorriarán. It's a midfielder. Forward by Torreira, there's too much weight on that. Godin. Generally speaking, it's been a better defensive performance from Venezuela than they showed in Bolivia last week. That'll please the coach. Changed his system to 3 central defenders. In the first half in particular, they were tight. Torreira coming off now for this first senior bow at international level for Fernando Gorriarán. Plays for the Santos Laguna club in Mexico, 26 years old, and a first senior cap. Cadiz. No foul there, none asked for in truth. We're heading to the 90th minute. Not seen much at all of Venezuela as an attacking force, certainly in open play in the second half. They've had that header from Ferrarese, which brought the tip over save from Muslera a couple of minutes or so ago. One header that flashed comfortably wide of the target from Martinez, but not much else really. The best chances have certainly fallen for Uruguay in the second half. Valverde. Appeals for handball and given. Minimum of 5 minutes is going to be added on shortly. Fourth official Flavio Rodrigues da Souza of Brazil is down there ready to raise the board, and there it is. It's a foul by Cáceres. Lazy leg from the defender Martin Cáceres, waved, just wafted in the air and not really concentrating on what he was doing there. Now puts his team under pressure. Definitely catching his namesake, although they're spelt differently. Cáceres on Cáceres. Good position here now for Venezuela. And it will be Christian Cáceres to deliver this. Any goal now likely to be a winning goal. Throw a blanket over about 12 or 13 of them there on the edge of the 6-yard box. Driven in low, goalkeeper's aware. Muslera didn't have to move a muscle hardly to deal with the Cáceres low drive. Heading for the final 3 minutes. Ball over the top, just gets away from Nandez. He was offside anyway. Better back line there from Venezuela. The coach has been readying Rafael Romo to come on for the remaining couple of minutes. Not getting his opportunity yet. May not come. There's a bit of space now for Cadiz. Wanted on that right foot, and it's a comfortable take for Muslera. Ooh, it's a mistake at the back. And Godin has to be careful here. Cáceres, lackadaisical defending from Uruguay. But they survive it. Now De La Cruz. Is there to be a late sting in the tail? heading for the final 90 seconds. Uruguay onside here. Shot set up for De La Cruz, who looks down at the turf and suggests that that got a bobble. I think it's human instinct when you loft a shot like that to look down and bemoan the bounce in front of you. Cadiz having that chance just a few moments ago at the other end. Rincon has got through his usual terrific amount of work in the Venezuela midfield. The captain, Moreno, alongside him, has done well. It looks as though it's going to be on as even here, and a second successive goalless draw in qualifying for Uruguay. Oh, it's a poor challenge. Jimenez all over Cadiz there. So, chance for Venezuela. He was claiming the opponent backed in. Referee saw it differently. Well, this is it. Can Venezuela pinch it right at the end? Cáceres with the free kick. Comfortable defending for Uruguay. The Brazilian referee says that is enough. So no one was able to trouble the score sheet. Josef Martinez had the ball in the net for Venezuela in the first half. But after the game resumed, seemingly at 1-0, VAR stepped in and the goal was disallowed for a Martinez handball in the build-up. Frustrating night for Luis Suarez, who didn't see any of the chances in the second half that certainly came Uruguay's way. Couple for the second half substitute, Matias Vinha, who couldn't take either. Jimenez missed with a header as well. And Uruguay go away, I think, the more frustrated after they dominated much of the second half after being rather poor in the first 45. So it's just a point apiece, and both nations still have plenty of catching up to do when the World Cup qualifiers resume in September. It's off to the Copa America now, if that survives, and it's finished in Caracas in this CONMEBOL World Cup qualifying game. Venezuela 0, Uruguay 0.
Every follicle's a blessing. Just a bit off the top, please, mate. No, not